love the word glamour. I think it might be my favorite word in the world, next to confetti. It's my second favorite. I was kind of born obsessed with glamour. There's really no other explanation for this. In fact, I think it's why I love old Hollywood glamour so much, and I have from such a young age. I can't be the only one. You guys, please leave your favorite golden age of cinema movies down below, because I could definitely do with an old Hollywood binge. I just want to say that I uploaded another video today talking about my first beauty makeup collab with Christian Audette. So fun fact, side tip, bonus tip for you guys. A, please go watch the video if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Everything you need to know is down below. But if you want instant glamour, this is where you go. The majority of this video is going to be about lifestyle choices that you guys can make to give yourself the feeling of a glamorous life. Now, a lot of times when we think about glamour, we think about beauty and champagne and crystal chandeliers, which is fine. I love that stuff too. But glamour to me is actually laying around on a Tuesday afternoon without a care in the world. But if you are looking for a more traditional way to get some glamour in your life, then might I suggest my new collab with Christian Audette. I am so excited about this, you guys. Again, I don't want to take up the video getting into this spiel because I really wanted to focus on the subject, but I am stoked about this, you guys. All the information is down below. These are beautiful lipsticks. I have here Madam CEO, which is a beautiful red color that screams glamour. Like, let's be real. I also have burnt, I can't say this word, cinnamon, which is your beautiful vampy vixen color, and then a bombshell nude that will flatter everyone. I like to affectionately call this the high maintenance capsule collection. Thank you so much to Christian Audette for partnering up with me on this. You guys can get all three of these lipsticks for $87 at their website. I got a coupon code for you down there in case you want to pick up other stuff. I'm trying to let y'all know that this is where it's at. You guys need to pick it up, and thank you in advance if you do. Add a little glamour to your life with the high maintenance capsule collection. That's all I'm trying to say. So moving on with the rest of the video. Very difficult to do, honestly, because I could talk about my lipsticks all day. But anyway, today we are talking about glamorous lifestyle shifts, and I thought it would be helpful to first kind of talk about what goes into anything becoming glamorous, kind of what that word means to me, and why I chose to frame a lifestyle under the glamour umbrella, like why that appeals to me so much. Because when we think of anything glamorous, one thing that we can all agree on is glamour does not happen by accident. Actually, quite the contrary. It is curated and designed and premeditated as all get out. And the effect that glamour has on us is intoxicating. It's that feeling at a beautiful restaurant or a hotel where all of your senses are being engaged. And there's kind of just like this feeling of excitement and specialness in the air. And, you know, people pay big money for this feeling of glamour. I mean, they will like spend their lives working jobs that they hate just so they can sneak away for a weekend every once in a while, just to surround themselves with beautiful and glamorous feeling, that beautiful, glamorous, effortless, easy feeling. We all want it. So you can create this feeling of glamour in your life in small ways all the time. And if I had to distill the message of my channel down into like a little bite-sized elevator pitch, that would be it. How can we make small changes every day to get us closer to the woman that you want to be? And mindset shifts are crucial. And we get into that all the time, but today, these are real things that you can do to almost train yourself to expect glamour all the time. So basically, set a standard and move in the direction of that passionately. The first way to live a more glamorous life every single day is to beautify your space. Just to give you a heads up, if you couldn't figure out from the intro, this is going to have a lot to do with your house, your home, and how you live in every day. Because for the first time in my life, I personally am investing a lot of time and money and energy into my home. It has been a completely transformative experience. In more ways than one also. I think for me, this stems from the fact that for many, many years, I'm talking from the time I was 16 and moved out of my parents' house until 2017 when we bought this house, I moved almost once a year every single solitary year. That's like 15 years of moving. And the first move that I ever had when I left my parents' house, you know, the 16 years that predated that, were not exactly in a very happy home. So I had never really attached great meaning to home, like the physical building of a home. And I really did not appreciate what that was kind of causing me to miss out on. It's almost too big of a subject for me to really get into in this video, but I will get into it more when I start putting out my home ritual videos. I am filming 2 of them right now. I've talked about it a little bit recently. That's why my uploads are so sporadic, because I'm trying to learn to create a completely different type of content. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm sure we'll discuss it and get more into it at that time. But I will say that beautifying and organizing my home has made me feel a lot more centered and aligned than I ever have with almost anything else I have ever done. Because it's shifted my priorities, and it's almost helped me pay more attention to, I talked in videos before about spaces and how I think so much unhappiness that people suffer from is a complete lack of awareness surrounding what spaces are theirs, and their constant need to try to dominate, invade, or pick apart or complain about other people's spaces. And investing this much energy into my space has really helped me become even more aware of the fact that life in the world is always going to be out there causing some ruckus, but I can create my space to be like a haven that gives me that sense of ease and comfort and beauty that I feel when I'm in the presence of something very, very glamorous. So they say that children who have secure and safe home environments that they know they can return to tend to do better in life, because they always know no matter how bad it gets out here, I can always go home. I've always got a place, and I've always got people there who have my back. And, if you've never had that, it's hard to explain what it's like when you actually get it. And again, let's face it, a beautiful living space with all of your favorite things is about as glam as it gets. So this doesn't have to cost a lot of money, although I will say this process has taught me that money spent on your home is money well spent. So obviously I've been working on the aesthetics of my home, and I'm loving it. But no matter how beautiful I make my home, it really doesn't contribute to that sense of when I described at the top, the feeling you get when you walk into like a 5-star hotel, that sense of ease, that everything is taken care of. You don't get that from your house just being beautiful. It also has to be a functional space that meets your needs and is run in a way that, again, can take some stuff off your plate and give you that that we're all looking for. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I got this channel, and I got 4 dogs. I am a busy person. I need this place to run well. There is nothing glamorous about being frazzled and annoyed by the sight of your coat closet when you walk past it 20 times a day, because you know how badly you need to deal with the coat closet. So I highly encourage you guys to get into these home projects you've been putting off, to get meal planning systems in place, all this stuff that has you running around every day thinking you don't have time for yourself. It's probably because you're neglecting this kind of stuff. If you can get like the admin and organization, the very unglamorous, unsexy part of life that nobody really talks about, if you can get really good at that, oh my gosh, it will pay dividends for the way you feel in your life every day. Because now, literally, when I walk into any part of my house that used to irritate me, when I would see like, oh God, I need to organize the laundry, I walk in there now and I'm like, oh, it's laundry day, girl. Let's do it. I challenge you guys to right now set aside a couple little house projects that you are going to aim to have completed definitely by the end of the year. But y'all, the holidays are literally going to be here any second now. And how many years have you dealt with holiday mania and craziness because you just were not prepared? Let's go ahead and get our homes in order so that we are ready for all of our endeavors that 2022 are going to bring our way. Which leads into my next suggestion, which is to learn to live seasonally. So I truly believe this is the secret to a life well lived. I think this is how you get through your life in the most beautiful and intentional way that you can, that doesn't leave you constantly feeling like, well, I'm always doing stuff. Nothing ever feels like it gets done. Where does the time go? Holy shit, I'm 40. Living seasonally means like really leaning into the rhythms and seasons of life as they're coming at you. So adjusting our menus, our calendars, and our activities, our expectations, etc., to suit the seasons of life that we are currently in, because You can live your life as big as you want, but you can't live your whole life all at one time. And you can take this literally as far as you want. For some people like me, it does mean changing my house with the seasons and changing the meals I prepare for my family throughout the season. You know, seasonal decor and stuff like that is something I've been into for years. It just keeps things fresh. And again, with like seasonal food, trying to buy as much fresh seasonal produce as possible, trying to recognize the holidays, like even the little ones, like St. Patrick's Day, with, you know, festive meals to kind of mark the passing of time, if you will. You know, trying to get better about Sunday dinners. This kind of goes back to the beautifying your home thing. Part of it, like I said, has nothing to do with the space and the way that it looks. It's how you feel when you're in it. And humans, we have so many fond memories surrounding food. So I really want to try to incorporate more of that into my family's life. This also means learning to focus on energy levels that tend to ebb and flow with the seasons. Back to school is a crazy time. And I didn't really think this through when I was making my September plans at all. I'm paying for it now, big time, let me tell you what. So if I would have stopped and thought about that before I started making all these plans and really kind of remembered what season of life I'm about to go into, it would definitely be making the past weeks and the coming weeks a lot easier to get through. If you can really get good about focusing on the season that's right in front of you, you'll be able to kind of, that nagging feeling, you know what I'm talking about? Like all the stuff you have to do, that's the stuff that stresses me out. It's the constant feeling that I'm not doing enough, that I'm forgetting something, that there's stuff that needs my attention. But if I can always kind of remind myself that that can be dealt with next season, I can be fully present in this one, I find that mindset shift very helpful. Side note, ladies, if you want to take this even further and get more in tune with the seasons and live more seasonally, I highly encourage you guys start figuring out how to live in tandem with your menstrual cycle, because I can't speak for everyone, but my menstrual cycle definitely puts me through it during certain times of the year, and I'm trying to get better about planning my life around that. It is a very intense process, a magical, beautiful process our body goes through every single month, and it's just difficult to operate at the same energy. I mean, this is just biology. You can go to a gynecologist and they will explain to you all the different phases of your cycle and what it tends to do to your mood and your hormones. And if you fight that, it just makes it more miserable. So you guys, if you haven't thought about this, there is a book called, what is it called? I can't remember what it's called. I will link it down below. I definitely want to read it with you guys in the book club at some point, but it's completely about how to align your lifestyle with your cycle, which sounds really extra, but I promise you it makes all the sense in the world that we would be doing that as women. Truly, if you stop, if you can, obviously. I definitely recommend it. Anyway, but the plan here is just ultimately to slow down a little. When I think about glamour, I think about like Jessica Rabbit sauntering on a stage, taking her sweet time and being enjoyed by all who survey. Your life can feel that way. You just have to slow down and really live in the season and in the moment that you are currently in. And speaking of being more present in the moment, the next tip is going to sound really weird and obscure, but I have been practicing it for a couple of weeks now, and it's weirdly been very helpful. But I think it's important, first of all, to understand that I truly believe the secret to happiness, you guys, especially in 2021, is to get off your devices. You guys should, I've been saying it for a long time, but the more changes that I am personally making to slowly remove myself from the scroll obsession we're all in now, the happier I am. I swear I'm going to make a whole video making a case for why people need to do this. However, I do like content a lot. And I think the problem is for someone who, like me, who likes to learn about new things, who likes to try new things, I don't get on the internet just to like look at what other people are doing. It is always because I'm trying to learn how to do something I want to do. And I've come to the very delayed realization that I don't need the internet to do that. I'm just gonna have to kick it old school and start buying and using physical magazines and physical books. And I'll tell you why. Having a physical book or magazine stops me from getting distracted by my screens. And I can have the best intentions. of not getting kind of funneled into anything else. But because I work online and my notifications are always going off and I have emails constantly coming in, that's basically impossible. When I pick up one of my screens, work is going to come into it. That's not glamorous. We're trying to be in the moment, like we said. So physical books and physical magazines lately have been an odd way that I have been able to even further distance myself from that constant, just the internet is trash, y'all. Like, let's be real. There's so many cool things about it, but when you use it, you are asking and inviting and welcoming in so many things that you really didn't maybe even sign up for. And lately, for me, like for example, this whole video is about home. I have been maybe spending a little more time on Pinterest, trying to learn more about recipes and homemaking and home decorating. And I get on there, create massive Pinterest boards about all these subjects, and I almost never go back and look through them and try to use the information that I pinned because, again, getting on devices is somehow a little stressful to me, and I can recognize that, right? So for example, I have started, obviously I've kept physical books for a long time. I really don't like to use a device or a reading device to read on. They're kind of cumbersome, the light, all that stuff. So that was not a big transition for me, but magazines are. I have not bought magazines since I was a child, and I don't know why, because I love them. I've always loved them. In fact, I vividly remember being a very young kid, and I would go with my mom at a Food Lion every Saturday afternoon to go grocery shopping when none of my siblings wanted to go because I was going to try to get a magazine. That's right. YM, Teen, 17, Twist, you name it. I wanted a magazine. I love them so much. So I recently got back into magazines, and they are all about home. That's all I ever want to learn about. And even just being able to take those magazines, cut out things. I have like a little recipe book I'm making for my family to put all our favorite meals that I prepare in, and I can just cut them out of magazines and paste them in there, not have to get a screen out to find it. It's nuts that I can't do anything anymore without a screen, and magazines and books are a way to do it. It's very odd, strangely specific tip I'm giving you guys, but if you spend a lot of time on the internet scrolling and looking for information surrounding a very niche subject, try magazines. I'm just saying, I have got to stay off these screens. They're not good for me. They're really not very good for you either, honestly, to the degree that we tend to use them in magazines and books. A very glamorous way to kind of have your moment of enjoying your content without just this constant noise surrounding it. It's a very different experience to have a cup of tea outside on my patio and flipping through a magazine than that kind of hunched over, like, nothing glamorous about that. Nothing. But yeah, lots of magazines. My favorite right now have been Real Simple, Magnolia Journal, Better Homes and Gardens, all that stuff. And I love those kind of seasonal recipe volumes they bring out, which brings me to my next point and my final point on how to make your life feel more glamorous, which is to run your kitchen like a restaurant. I have talked about meal planning and planning in general a little bit on my channel recently, and yes, I will do planning videos. But what I'm talking about is almost a step further than that. It's more than just the planning the meal, it's what meals and how can I present these meals beautifully and how can I create a moment at home with my family using these seasonal things to create glamour in my everyday life. It's bigger than just on Monday we're having pasta, Tuesday it's tacos, Wednesday it's meatloaf. Like, I am setting a goal for my family to eat out way less. And not even necessarily for the reasons that you might think. Money is a part of it, but we are just fortunate enough that we can afford to be dumb with our food budget. And often we are, unfortunately. That does bother me a lot. But that's still not even the entirety of what's behind that. Dining out for us most of the time, I do not find super enjoyable because we tend to do it out of necessity. Like, I didn't prepare anything. We haven't gone grocery shopping, yada, yada, yada. So by the time we go out to eat, it's not even like a nice, intentional, relaxed outing. It's we're all hungry, pack in the car, let's go find some place that we can go into without a reservation and hope the food's any good. And 8 times out of 10, I leave not thinking it was much better than something I could have just cooked on my own. I like dining out sometimes, like, don't get me wrong, but I started pointing out to my daughter every time we'd go out to dinner or lunch and I felt underwhelmed by it. And once I started doing that, I realized it was all the time. Often I go out to eat and I'm like, I could have done this. I could have made something better than this. I'm not trying to be an arrogant SOB, but I know my way around a kitchen, and it's just a waste of our resources not to have me preparing the majority of our food. You know, like I said earlier in the video, I want theme nights. I want Sunday dinners. You know, I want wood grilled pizzas and soup and panini nights. I just have a vision for this, and it actually checks off so many boxes for my family, because one of the places I just want more glamour is surrounding our dining, because we have to eat anyway. The problem is that for years, I have really not had a system surrounding this. And again, we have leaned on dining out so much that it always just feels like an option. So this hasn't been as big of a priority for me as it is now. And like I said at the top of the video, it is very important for you guys to take inventory of these areas in your life that are really just causing you like a constant stress cycle. I gotta go shopping every week. I gotta meal plan every week. I gotta clean the fridge out every week. I gotta restock every week. Like, every time that day approaches, I start getting a little like, oh, like almost analysis paralysis. What are we gonna eat? Da 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 da. I don't want to feel any more irritation around feeding my family. I want it to feel like an experience. I've gotten a lot better about having our family use cloth napkins and placemats when we eat together. It's just, again, the goal is to find the areas in your life that you are already doing and interacting with every day and elevating them. That, again, is why we love that vacation feeling, because like particularly around food, we already know our food's being provided and taken care of for us, and it's going to be prepared for us, and it's just like a weight off our shoulders. But I can do stuff to kind of hook future Whitney up the exact same way, and I have not been doing that. I've been making future Whitney's life really hard for no reason, actually. So are there any ways that this week when you go to grocery shop, meal plan, whether you're feeding just yourself, you got a big family to feed, whatever it is, just you and your significant other, whatever it is, I challenge you guys one day this week to take it over the top. Bust out the cute glasses, break out the cloth napkins, use your good olive oils, whatever it is. See how you feel being in your home and enjoying a fabulously prepared meal. Again, we do not have to keep paying other people to create this stuff for us. We can absolutely do it ourselves. And furthermore, I ain't trying to go out there. I can do it in my home and then immediately go put on my comfy pants. That's what I'm trying to do. All right, guys, that is the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you, but I certainly cannot wait until I can make more vlog content, take this show on the road, and show you guys what a glamorous evening at home, for example, might look like how I would curate that experience. So again, thank you to Krish and Audette for collabing with me. I cannot believe this day is here. I always wanted to have some sort of beauty collab, and it's happening. Like, dreams come true, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I will catch you in the next one.